Hello, mic test. Okay. So as soon as I start my discussion on highway, my old friend, I just met him, named Anuk. Okay, let's talk after about this thing. Let's just talk uh, like for the thing that I came here. So uh, yeah, there is a one movie sequence. I am a really kind of like something really unique and something that I am really interested in this thing. And as a filmmaker, as a person who makes such films, is been really important to understand how those shot is taken. I just need to put headphone because of that if somebody will understand that he is actually talking to someone else. So just probably need to understand them that he is kind of like a not talking to himself, like like if you are um, kind of like a doing such things in a public, then people will think that he Jai. Okay, so where should I was? So uh, so let's just, there is a one movie sequence I am really excited about to tell you about this thing, is that ki X-Men Apocalypse, uh, Quicksilver sequence, extraction sequence. Okay, in the movie they called extraction sequence. Means actually the story plot is that he, the whole I am not telling the every story about this film. Actually, I am here for discuss a thing about that ki how it will film, and is it really possible in real world. Okay, because of that it's kind of like a something really bit scientific too. So right, so I'm just telling you just little bit about the thing, is about the story, is that ki the whole mansion is actually destroying. Okay, there is some sort of like a thing happened inside the mansion, and the whole mansion is blown. So each and everyone will die if they will not leave that mansion. I am not saying that mansion again and again because it's kind of like a something really difficult word for me. So I need to say house, a big house. Okay, because house is kind of like a bit really relative word to me. Instead of mansion, it's kind of like a, yeah, mansion is meant for that word is
बस हाँ दो बाप बेटा को तुम्हारे को काम नहीं है हमको काम न दे हमारी फोटो क्या बहुत होशियार है तुम हमारी फोटो निकाल हमारे को काम नहीं देते.
okay. So in the film sequence, actually in a big house, there is everyone is trapped inside that house, and the person named Quicksilver, he extract them, and he has some sort of ability that he can run really fast. Okay, so he has that ability as a movie concept regarding about that too. So actually, as a Quicksilver, he has to extract them. He has to extract them all from that mansion. So, and he did it. Okay, but is it possible? And first of all, let's just think about how it will film. So actually, this film, that sequence is actually uh, take too much time to film, and it's just not about just a film. It's just about like thinking about how things happened when when you run that faster, then how things will you can see, like right now whatever you can see, it's kind of like your perspective. Okay, but if you are kind of running very fast, so that means for your perspective, time will slow down. Everything is slow down, and everything is literally pause as also. So actually, in the I didn't really get any behind the scene of that footages. I just get they have built, they use some of the phantom camera. Phantom camera is actually slow motion camera, and 4K, almost 3000 frame, sorry, 1000 frame per second. So it is slow, it is very slow. Let's just talk about this camera. Actually, this phantom camera is actually used for advertising purpose, mostly for slow motion. Yeah, this actually people bought this camera for just a slow motion. This is not just a usual camera that you can shoot film on that camera. No, this camera is meant for the slow motion. It cannot meant for the shooting films, and no, it just meant for only one thing, for shooting slow motion. So, and that camera is really great. Most of the people I see, so many people uh, use those camera, okay, for slow motion. And whatever this I found that in industry, in any film or any other industry, if slow motion has to record, then phantom camera is meant to be used for that purpose, particular thing. Okay, usually our camera, whatever the camera you can take, from your cell phone, you can shoot up to 60 fps. Okay, if you went to some of the DSLR, then you can shoot up to 120 fps. Okay, I'm just talking about 4K. Okay, if you went to the 1080p, then in DSLR you can shoot almost 240 fps. So that is also a very very slow. Okay, and I didn't see as much slower than this thing. Let me tell you about how is this thing slow motion actually happen inside the camera. So usually when you are try to shoot something, shoot something, it is like the frame rate should be the shutter speed should be higher than your frame rate. Okay, so if your frame rate is a 24, then your shutter will be 1 by 50. It's a like a natural rule for shooting a film. Okay, and usually most of the cameras and most of the things is meant for those rules. Okay, besides some of the cinema camera like ARRI and red camera, that you can manipulate some of the frame rates, like you can shoot at 24 with a 1 by 30 shutter. It's very difficult to shoot for those camera, but because of that those camera is meant for the cinema camera, so they can do that. Okay, but any camera you can hold, that internal mechanism is meant for that particular purpose. Okay, shutter speed will go higher. Okay, but it will not go lower than your frame rate. It was always be double of your frame rate, and that is the rule as also. Okay, so in slow motion the same thing happen as also, like if you are shooting at 1000 frame per second, so that means your shutter speed will be 1 by 2000. So 1 by 2000 means like your shutter will open and close 2000 time in a second. 2000 time in a second. So can you believe in that? So it's really very difficult to do such things. Like usually in the old camera, shutter has some sort of mechanical shutter. Okay, but in the film or in right now, it's kind of like a newer version of cameras. They have electronic shutter. Electronic shutter is actually really good. It's that because of the electronic shutter you can shoot at 1000 frame per second. Okay, because of that it's not mechanical, it's electronics. It just, but still it's like a 1000 frame means like a 2000, like a 1 by 2000 shutter. So it's kind of like a very fast. If you are kind of like a calculating those, like a, I'm just telling you, electronic shutter means actually what is exactly electronic shutter? Electronic shutter means the sensor is actually sense light in particular time, like a 1 by 2000. Okay, so it's on and off 2000 time in a second. Okay, so it's on off 2000 time in a second. So what is on off thing? It's kind of like a the sensor. Okay, it's on and off. So actually when you are try to on off the sensor almost 2000 time in a second, so actually it required very high processing speed. Okay, it cannot be done by kind of like a really small chipset. No, it's like a something really bigger chipset. Okay, so usually Canon has a digic camera sensor. Okay, chipset. Actually that chipset is meant for the color of the, like a color produce. Okay, but there is like a the analog signal actually on and off 2000 time in a second. So it's actually very fast, a very fast. But it can be done. So my question is that they use phantom camera. Okay, but most of the thing is actually, so shooting purpose is how they shoot it. So first of all is that there is some sort of VFX and some sort of camera trick used in that sequence. And basically I didn't really know about VFX, but there is one thing I know is that you can do anything with the VFX, anything. Okay, like the modern movie has, and like so many films are example of those VFX that it can do anything. So I have no really doubt about the things like that. But there is a one doubt about the reality. Like I saw so many videos about like how Quicksilver run that faster, like how much he run that, how much he, how much fast he can run on that particular sequence. So basically they calculate, and they there is many more videos on that YouTube that tell us about the thing. But in that video I saw so many videos, and in every videos they says that the average, it's not exact, because in the film actually you cannot precise the volume, you cannot precise the thing about like how much he can fast. Okay, but still he is really fast. But how fast is it? So in the video they say almost like uh, 1,004,063, 1,004,063, 1,004,463,000, sorry, 1,463,000. I'm just say 416,000. There is something number as also, but I'm just counting that 1,000,000, 1,463,000. So it is a kilometer per hour. Okay, so I'm just telling all those things in kilometer per hour for understanding much better, because usually we are calculating speed in kilometer per hour or miles per hour. Usually western and usually Europe and American, they use miles. Usually Asian and Chinese, and in it's kind of like a Asian and Middle East part of India, like a besides Europe and America, North and South America, each continent use kilometer per hour, and they use miles per hour. Okay, it's kind of like a little bit of same. Like a miles is actually I don't know what's mile. Mile is actually like kilometer is literally standard. Okay, like I'm just telling like we are using kilogram for understanding the weight. They are measured by pound, and I still don't know how much pound equals to 1 kilogram. So it is really, it's kind of like a something. Okay, so let's just, so he's run really fast, really fast. Okay, so uh, but what if you are like what is the speed of light? Speed of light is a 3 3 3 to the power 10 meter per second. 3 into 10 to the power 8, 3 into 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. So it's kind of like a very fast, but he is not running that speed, because if that person is run on the speed of light, so basically things happen really weird, so weird that it's just like you cannot imagine. Like basically is that if you try to imagine things now, like if you are, so you need to understand the complete physics about the things. And basically I have some sort of interest about the physics, so just let me tell you about things happen when you are running that amount of speed. So what I'm trying to say, like what if you can run that amount of speed, not speed of light, but 1,04,400,000 kilometer per hour. So how do you things happen? Like the same example. So one thing is that when you are running that amount of speed, you create friction. Okay, so what is friction? So just let me tell you one thing is that when you rub your both hand, okay, rub your both hand very fast, you can feel little bit of warm on your skin. It's some sort of warm, okay, like heat, you can feel that, okay, and that is happened because of the friction. So basically is that when you are kind of like a doing anything, just like a walking, running, or do anything, it's kind of like a you are interacting with the another body. Just an example is that I am walking on this highway. So basically the friction happened between me, my shoes, and the road. As also I am kind of like inside my hand, I have this bicycle, okay, and it just like there is a lot of friction, okay. So what if I am running that amount of speed, then what will be happen? Can I like what will be happen? So when you are running that amount of speed, you will burn, okay, because of that there is so much amount of friction, okay. And basically what is burn means like that, burn means like there is no fire, but you are actually burning from inside without fire, because at that speed na, the fire is actually something really happened very uniquely, okay. Just an example is that there is so many asteroid are fall on the planet of earth, okay, and they are every time, every day, maybe right now they are almost like a tiny meteor, maybe almost like a man size, or maybe car size, or maybe something like that. Some sort of bigger, like a half an kilometer, or maybe kilometer kilometer size meteoroid. It's kind of like a something really big, actually they cannot fall. But but there is a ball size meteor, or maybe kind of like a your hand or your head size meteor always be falling on the planet of the earth, okay. So and actually they are very fast, okay, exactly fast, like as I mentioned earlier, is that 1,04,000 kilometer per hour. At that speed they are fall on that, I'm not saying fall, they are attracted through the gravity, like earth has a gravity, and when it has gravity, then there is some sort of in many asteroid they are kind of like enter the orbit, then actually, and they have some sort of velocities even more than that. Velocity means like that, as I mentioned, like a 1,000 1,000,004,000 1,004,000 kilometer per hour. So when it has much more velocity, then they can easily enter on your atmosphere. So let me tell you one thing is that in our atmosphere we have oxygen, okay. Basically if the quicksilver run that speed on the on space, then you will not be burned, because of that there is no oxygen, okay. And without oxygen you cannot be fire or anything, okay. It's really impossible to do something like that, okay. Then how things happen on the space, like sun, like how we fire. So basically it's not fire, it's a fusion reaction happen over there, okay. It's not fire actually, okay. And as also in the fusion reaction they are creating oxygen, okay. In the fusion reaction they are creating oxygen to burn that nucleus from inside, okay, and produce heat as also. It's kind of like a radioactive reaction, okay. It's chemical reaction as also, unstable reaction, okay. So you cannot say that the entire star is actually has some sort of oxygen. They are produce that oxygen, and with that oxygen they burn the nucleus. They can burn that nucleus, and they produce so much amount of heat inside the atom. Okay, so there is universal law is that if you wanted to burn something, then you need oxygen. Okay, without oxygen it is really difficult to burn all those things. uh, so uh, when the quicksilver, like if I run that particular velocity on the planet, on the planet of the earth, so I am creating friction. And that friction means like the molecular actually is that, as I told you earlier, is that when I'm walking on the ground, I create the friction. It's very little, it's very stable. It's not unstable, it's very stable, and it's not that fast. So you cannot feel very heat inside of your leg and things like that. But still you are creating friction. Okay. But if you run that faster, then you will create the friction, and as also you are creating heat. So you will burn. But as a quicksilver, he is a mutant. Okay, he is mutant means kind of like something really powerful being, more than human, and he has some sort of ability that when he run that faster, he will not burn. Maybe some sort of molecular changes inside his DNA. I don't know what's it, but he will not burn during that process. So that's the one thing. So another thing is that okay, so when he will not burn, then the next question is that in that clip, in that movie clip, he did some sort of things. Is it be possible in the real world? Will it be if that person, or if some particular person will run that faster? What is the things happen? So I am not really expert in this thing, but I do study about the time dilation, and as also the time dilation means like when you are increasing your velocity, then time will run slow for you. Okay, so when the time is run slow for you, it's not just slow motion, it's kind of like something really different. Like in that film sequence, that sequence is actually a perspective of the quicksilver, like how he sees the world from their perspective. Okay, so I'm just asking a little bit of question and try to giving answer by myself. Okay, so in that clip actually he runs that faster, and as I mentioned, he is not burned without a friction, without any friction, so he has that power of ability. Okay, we can agree that also. But another thing is that ki, there is a one thing that I am really kind of like a really curious to know about those things, is that ki, okay, like your body, your thing inside of your body is kind of like adjustable with that speed. Okay, but the another body will not be adjusted without that speed now. Like in that sequence, actually he is extracting, he is like taking those people out of that mansion. Okay, and how does he did that? He just like he just lift those people and just like uh, hold it on your hand, and just like just take them to outside the mansion, and that's it. And I is like, how is this thing happen? It's kind of like a really simple thing, but it's really not gonna happen at that speed of sound, with speed of that. Like when you are on that speed, then it is really difficult. Then how it is, how, let me tell you one thing, is that if there is car behind me, and he hit me on that speed, like if that car is run almost like a 1,004,000 kilometers is what you're trying to say. Okay, So that car is run that speed, and he will hit me. Then what will be happen? I will, I will just like, I will not die actually. My body will rip out. Okay, my body will rip out. Like if that car is hit me on my back, then uh, my chest and my whole uh, what is the mouth toned. Mouth means not just mouth, it's just like I'm just talking about mouth, eyes and everything. I'm just upper body. Okay, so my lower body and upper body, well, my upper body, sorry, will rip out from my lower body. Like my leg is actually being separate from upper body to lower body. I just rip out at that speed. Do you really understand what I'm trying to say? If that person is that Quicksilver, he's tried to push me on that speed, will whoever the person he's pushing, that person will rip his hand, leg and everything. Everything, trust me. Like at the end of the moment, what will be happen is that he outside the mansion, he just found out that he has just his hand and his head. Okay, I just forgot the name. I mentioned the mouth, but it's actually head. Okay, so uh, so this exactly happened. Okay, like if you run that speed, and if you're trying to push someone, then you will be rip those people. Okay, rip out those people, and it's a kind of like a really very crazy situation. Very very crazy situation. Same thing happened with the object as also, like when you are lifting some sort of like a brick. Okay, so you are not lifting the brick, you cannot lift that brick because of that key. There is some sort of universal constant means that key, if that stone is on the road, it has some sort of universal things that if you try to move that stone, then you need a proper velocity, that you need to move that stone and it will be stable all the time. If you are moving that stone with very high velocity, then you are kind of like the interacting with the molecule of that stone. Okay, and when you are interacting with the molecule, then it's kind of like a something is you are seeing this stone, but when you are trying to move that stone at that speed, then it is something really else. Like you can see there is a powder or there is something like that key, it just crush, it just broke in, it just like, it won't be stone at all, it's something else. I don't know what is it, but yeah. So first thing is that if you are kind of like a doing something with people, then people will ripped out. Okay, like if you try to move your head, leg or things like that, then you will rip them, like your body, your chest, your leg, everything. Okay, so you cannot do that. Okay, another thing, same thing happened with the object. So in that film, there is so many things happen, so many things. Okay, like he is interacting with the object, he's saving those people as also. So it will be possible, it will not be possible. It is really definitely not be possible. I'm just getting little bit of disturbance over here. So I found so many disturbance over here. So I found little bit of disturbance over here. So I am cycling right now. I need to speak about this thing. So let's just people away from here. There is also people who are taking selfie at this. Actually this bridge is not open yet, so okay, right now there is no one here, so I can speak. So so I'm asking questions to myself, like I have that particular speed, like 1,004,000 km per hour. Okay, so 1 million, I'm just say 1 million. Okay, I'm just not counting 4,000, it's 1 million. Okay, so I have a speed of 1 million km per hour and I have to save them. So how should I save them without ripping them off? And it's kind of like a bit really standard that those people are not really die at that moment. So how should I do that? So moment of the truth is that ki, I'm just understanding million kilometer per hour, not light, because when you are traveling at that speed of light, then your molecule of your body molecule will be changed, and without whatever the support you are trying to do, you will rip, your skin will rip out from your body, and as also skin and as also bone and things inside of your body, everything will be rip out. So so yeah, one thing. So I will not counting as a speed of light, but I'm just counting as a 1 million kilometer per hour. Usually is that ki 300 and 300 and 350 kilometer, maybe is like 314 and something, but 350 kilometer per hour is meant to be Mach 1 speed. Usually a jet is not jet, actually the ultrasonic jet has some sort of speed. Okay, Mach 1, Mach 2, usually there is no any vehicle on the planet, on the planet of the earth, which is more than Mach 2. Okay, so yes, but outside the planet we sent some sort of satellite which has a speed of almost like 1,064,000, so it's exactly equivalent to the Quicksilver. Okay, but it's something really else. I'm just talking about on the planet of the earth. Okay, so I have that million kilometer per hour speed, so I have to save them. So how I did that? So first of all, as a body, when you are traveling million kilometer per hour, your body will not rip out, so that's a good news. Okay, like when you are kind of like a achieving without any support protection. What I'm trying to say is that in the jet, actually, the pilot has protection. They have some sort of glass in front of it, and they are in the cabin. Okay, the pilot inside that cabin. Okay, and actually, while he was uh, travel on that speed, he the body will not rip out, but he feels some sort of G force. So what is a G force? G force means like that कि uh, it's actually is that कि when you are driving, okay, and your gadi or your car is stopped, okay, and you are accelerating things, so you push back little bit of that, so that is called G force. So basically, as a body requires little bit of time to adjust that speed. But when you are 0 to 100 km per hour, then at the 100 km per hour and is constantly on 100 km per hour till the 5 minutes, then your body will adjust on that speed, and then you suddenly brake at 100 km to 0 km per hour, then your body will feel same G force. Okay, this is called a kinetic. This is also called kinetic energy as also. Okay, that is kinetic energy, or also potential energy. That means like that कि you are resting means you have potential energy, and suddenly you can feel the kinetic energy like vehicle is moving. So I feel so many sound trouble. I am not really sure like you can hear this thing or not, but like there is a tractor and there is a car. It's not one tractor, there are almost like a, how many is this? There are four tractors, and those are tractor are kind of like connected to each other. Connected means mounted on back. Okay, so what I'm trying to say, so if I have that particular speed, then how should I save them? So good thing is that at the speed of million kilometer per hour, your body will not trip out. So that's a good news. Another thing is that another thing what will be thing is that if I try to touch someone or something, it will broke. Like if I touch someone, like if I hold someone hand, then I rip his hand from his body. Okay, one thing. Another thing is that if I touch something, then I will interchange the molecular of that thing. Like if I touch something cement or brick or anything, so I am interacting with the molecular quantity of that stone or things like that. So if I did that, then it it will be change everything. I need to talk about this, but this subject is really interesting, and I am really wanting to talk more and more about it. Okay, these science things, and just like, as also it's kind of like improving my knowledge, like when this thing happened, then what things will be happen with me, and how should I did this thing. So it's kind of like a challenging to your brain, and as also increasing the knowledge, and kind of like a growing things. Okay, this is exactly what I'm trying to say. So So what if I have that particular speed, then I have to save that particular people as the same sequence. So and with those kind of like a very uh, science thing, like normally people will not say anything like that, this will not be possible in real life. Okay, so I can run million kilometer per hour, so that's a really impossible thing, but it is kind of like a possible thing for me, so you need to accept that. Another thing is that if I touch something or somebody, then I will broke or I will rip those people, those thing, those surrounding. Okay, same with the clothes, same with the things, same with the everything. Okay, so how should I save them? So basically when I try to touch or when I try to move things, I need to take very slow. Very slow means it's just not just kind of like a slow means what I'm trying to say is that I need to take care. Okay, like I need to use foam all the time. Okay, what is exactly foam? Yeah, you know the foam. Actually foam is actually is that there is some sort of spongy material. Okay, so I have to push that spongy material, or uh, maybe mattresses. Okay, with the foam. Okay, so if I wanted to touch somebody or if I wanted to move somebody, then I have to wrap up that particular body on the foam. Okay, but still foam will break out na. So if you are doing something like that, but trust me is that there is really high quality of foam I really need. What is exactly high quality of foam? So let me tell you, one thing is that foam has a molecular structure are stretch from one molecule to another molecule, but it's stretched so it can easily rip out. Yeah, it easily break, or easily as a person or as a human you can easily uh, tear the foam. It's kind of like a bit really easy as also. Okay, so as a normal person can do that, maybe Quicksilver can easily do that, something like that, then why you are trying to save foam? I'm just telling there is so many foam. Okay, you do not anything about. There is also a foam has a kind of like a really high integral molecular uh, covalent bond between the one molecule to another molecule. It's very connected to each other. It's very intact with each other. Okay, so if I'm using like a, I found there is a foam. Usually it's made of something really. It's not made of cotton and plastic. Okay, basically foam is usually made up by cotton, but the cotton is actually has easily rip out from the molecule structure. So they use some sort of alloy. I'm not saying alloy. Alloy usually meant for the metal, but kind of like a uh, combining two, like a cotton and plastic. Okay, like a plastic usually has a carbon. Okay, and carbon has a really strong molecular bond between one molecule to another molecule. Okay, so basically it will not easily rip out. So if you have that quality of the foam, it's very ultra high quality of the foam. It's not just quality, it's very ultra quality of foam. Okay, so when you have that foam, then it will be possible. So how do you do that? So in that particular scene, the Quicksilver actually wrap a guy on that mattresses, and he throw that mattress outside the house. Okay, it will be possible. Okay, throwing thing is not just wrapping that person. Okay, like if you are throwing person at a million kilometer per hour, that guy will kind of like a land on something like that. If that person throw on America, then he will be land on Europe as also, because the native speed almost like a thousand, sorry, million kilometer per hour. So just very but still, okay, I'm just understanding things about he will just throw very just little bit, that he will just fall just a very little bit, like a Quicksilver. Whatever his action is really multiple to the actual things. Can you understand, like if he apply force at particular thing when he is running, then it will be really difficult, very difficult. Okay, then you just like if he person like a Quicksilver throw that person outside the mansion at 1,000 mil, sorry, at the million kilometer per hour, then definitely he will land on Europe. Like he will throw on the America, then he will be land on Europe or maybe Middle East or maybe Asia or something like that. So yes, or maybe just like if you're trying to understand that we have some sort of like a million kilometer per hour, it's kind of like a really higher than the escape velocity. Actually we have escape velocity as a 1,700 and something, 1,700, maybe 2,000 or maybe 5,000. Okay, 5,000 kilometer per hour. But right now we are talking about million kilometer per hour. Obviously he will be fly out from the planet of the earth, because he has that particular speed, like a million kilometer per hour. Dude, what the fuck, it is so big, so high velocity. It's really so you cannot throw people at that speed. Okay, but whatever the action he was doing, he is doing at that speed na. So basically, yes, so he will not throw people at the speed. Okay, so basically if he wanted to throw people at that speed, then he has a job to kind of like a stop that particular person. Okay, because if that person will not stop, like a Quicksilver has to be like a kind of like a need to be stopping that person to kind of like a uh, removing his velocity. His velocity means the guy on that couch, guy on that mattresses. Okay, uh, so can you do that, like if you have first of all is that ki I need a very high quality of foam. Okay, and as also I have to do things very slowly. Slowly means like that ki whatever the action I am doing, I have to do very slow, but at the very high speed. What? Very high speed and doing very slow, how do you do that? So basically is that ki uh, just an example, like everything earth, everything around you, like there is a car, there is a bike, truck, everything on that highway is stop, means like you are actually walking at million kilometer per hour. Okay, so it's just simple example how things appear to your eyes. So basically is that key, first of all it's little bit of dark, because of that key your eyes, your actually eye doesn't have any shutter or anything. Just fuck those eyes. Okay, just like let me tell what is the physical thing happened. So uh, uh million kilometer na, yes, can I walk on that million kilometer? Usually is that the gravity is false for you. What is false? Means like gravity is fake for you. What I'm not understand. Means like that ki gravity has a some sort of value, like 9.8 meter per meter, 9.8 g. Okay, that g is actually meant for the 9.8, means like you can feel little bit of weight. Okay, but when you have that particular speed, then you will feel nothing, you will have very zero. ultimately zero. You will be fly. Okay, so basically is that if you wanted to run, walk, or do something like that, you need a reaction force. Reaction force means like if you wanted to walk, then I am reacting to the floor and kind of like a creating friction, and then I move forward. I'm just kind of like a getting reaction force, exactly reacting force like I am walking. So that's why I can walk. You cannot walk at air because there is no reaction force. Okay, do you understand what I'm trying to say? Yeah, okay. So a reaction force is really important. There is so heavy traffic here, very heavy. Usually this square is not actually made because actually this is service road. Okay, and usually in the service road you don't require this heavy truck is should not be travel the service road. Okay, like one or two maybe okay, but those are the trucks are so much, it's not one two, there are so many, and the heavy traffic are coming on that service road. So it should not be happened, and that's why they made that highway, but usually they are not open yet. So okay, so what I'm trying to say, yeah. So if I so can I do this thing or not? It just like let me give me and things like should I can I do this thing or not? Well, I can do that thing, yes, but I need to be like um, I'm just thinking like my knowledge is not that have really kind of like something really big, like I have not that expertise level of knowledge that what would be happen. I learn things about the science and physics things on the YouTube and things like that, but it's not enough. I need to learn even more about that. Then I kind of like imagine that should it be happen, but I try to understand like a learning thing or understanding thing is kind of like or knowing thing is kind of like a something really different, and the doing practical thing is kind of like a doing something really different. What do you mean by that? It's kind of like a what I'm trying to say is that ki, just giving an example, just normal example. Okay, just like I need to run, so what is the things happen? So I need reaction force, I need this force, I need that force, and those things are understood by the scientists and things like that, and what will be happen and is it be possible or not. So scientists will be calculate. But in the actual world, or maybe practical world, something really different happened that you shouldn't understand, or maybe are you getting it? So yes, I need to shut it down. I just need to stop. Thank you.